So hi, everybody. I want to welcome you back to the Global Party 2017, Healing from the Inside Out. And our special speaker today is Kasia. She's living in Ireland now, but she spent most of her life in Poland. And we're very excited for her to be here to be sharing about loving yourself in midlife. And as we were talking about, this party atmosphere, and it's all about, being connected, the song that she picked, we're going to play is bringing a joyful peace. So have a listen and enjoy. And we'll be back with Kasia in just a minute.
From the temple of my heart up to the highest mountain, love embrace all that is and all that could be.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
That is when singing or that type of music, opening the heart, there's just a sense of presence already, and we haven't even started. It's just wow. So wow, Kasia.
Wow, Jacqueline.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
It's sometimes so much easier with music, with singing, with movement than with words.
Absolutely. So let's start off with this. What got you on this journey to help mainly women, love themselves at midlife? So what began your journey?
It was a very long journey. And I was thinking about this, yes, when I heard about the topic of this summit and this party. And because it's a very long story, I decided to share with you just two main transformations that happened on the way. So I was very blessed throughout my life with loads of physical symptoms. And since I was a teenager, there was always something wrong with my ovaries, with my womb, polycystic ovary syndrome, endometriosis, things just going on all of the time. Not very serious in the sense that's not life-threatening, but pushing and pushing and pushing. And like a large part of my life because of this was a huge quest for a cure, for something to cure me, for somebody to cure me. And I've tried everything, and it led me to a very desperate place. When due to hormonal therapy, I was just thrown into an artificial menopause. So what happens with every woman over a period of 10, 15 years sometimes happened to me within like days or weeks. So it was like a huge shock to the body.
Right.
And it was just desperate. But it was so desperate that I had this this aha moment, this realization, but not the one from the head, the one that you can feel in your whole energy. Yes. And it was very painful because it was that there is like nobody will cure me. Nobody, nothing will ever cure me. That I need to stop like playing the victim, and I need to take responsibility. And I guess that was the first moment that I got this difference between curing and healing. Because healing is something that you do, not even to yourself, but for yourself. And there are people who can help you on the way, of course, yes?
Yep.
But it is yours. At least that's what I thought then. because it started a beautiful process for me. And it was great, and it brought a lot of transformations, but there was still a piece missing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this piece with breathwork. So when I started to breathe, when I learned how to breathe consciously,
Mm-hmm.
how to use breathwork for healing,
Mm-hmm.
I understood that that healing is not something that you do. Yes, you can't decide in your head, oh, let's heal myself.
Right.
Yes, it's something you open yourself to.
Mm.
And that's why I love this song. If, I don't know if you noticed, there are a beautiful words and some moment, yes, to
Yes.
be grateful, to be open, to be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's and that was my missing piece. So I decided to support others as much as I can into discovering the same.
Wow. See, it's like concept that we think we are burdened, right, when we're dealing with the issues, and yet they're really the gift, because if we hadn't had the burden, we wouldn't have had the experience to overcome and open to receive new level of being.
Oh yes, they are our guides. Yeah, that is what takes us where we need to go.
Yeah, it's a common theme, right? That what you overcome, you end up helping, because you have that experience. You have that master's degree and what that is like, because you lived it. So how does somebody recognize that they actually have an issue? Because for a lot of us, we probably think it's normal to have issues because maybe we weren't even paying attention to our menstrual cycle in the beginning. So when it comes to perimenopause and menopause, are there some aha moments for women? Are they coming to you when they're in crisis, or are you wanting them to come to you when they just are first embarking, in their mid 40s?
Now, a lot of women, or most of the women, come when they are in crisis. Yeah, because it is crisis that gives you this push to do something about it. Yes, but I'd love women to come earlier. Yeah, the earlier they come, the better it is, the easier at work is, really. But what happens usually, I notice that it all starts with physical symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of us are quite used to having some issues, and we don't pay attention. As long as we can, most of us, we don't pay attention. But then one beautiful day you get your first hot flash, and it is a terrifying experience for many women when they have it the first time. Are you stop sleeping properly for no reason? You wake in the middle of the night all wet with sweats. You start to be exhausted all of the time, or moody all of the time, or anxious, although you've never been anxious before. So there are a lot of physical symptoms that women that ring the bell. Yes, something's going on here. And most of the women either Google it or they go to their doctor.
Okay.
But it doesn't really matter what you do, because anyway, 90 or 95% of all the information you can find is negative.
Okay.
So whether it's your doctor or the results of your Google search, what you learn is that you're in deep trouble, and it's going to be crazy for the next 10 years, and it's going to get worse. And then it's going to get even worse than before. So, there is a lot of menopause, and perimenopause has very bad press in our society. And all the information is about what's going on with your body and how you can basically suppress all the symptoms. While it's not what's really going on. Yes, it's just your body calling you to pay attention. It's just your whole system being rewired so that you can live like happily and you can live like fulfilled life for many, many more years to come. But you need to stop. You need to stop. And this is another example how, you know, how our symptoms or how things that are very uncomfortable are really blessings,
Right.
that like guide us to do the work. So that is how it usually starts.
So if you got to wave a magic wand, right, and how would you want this topic to be framed now and in the future? And how would you like women to approach it? So you get to design the rest of the universe related to perimenopause and menopause.
Nice. I love that. Okay, that's a nice idea. Okay.
Right now, so just take a minute and think, and just be present and just put it out there, because you're changing reality for so many.
I think I think it starts really earlier than the perimenopause. Like perimenopause is your final call, but I'd like each woman or each girl even from the very start to be able to be connected to herself, because that's the most important lesson. If I was to change just one thing, I would change this: that women were able and willing to listen to what their body, their heart, their soul is telling them all of the time, and then to have courage to follow through on this. So that's and then we wouldn't probably suffer so much during the menopause. Yes, like the physical symptoms are always the last step. Yes, your body, your heart, and your soul, like they keep calling earlier with like little, you know, nugs or a little like tugs on your shoulder. Yes, just pay attention to me. You need to adjust something. There is like no integrity here. Yes. But we just keep ignoring this. So then we got emotions, and then at the last step we got physical symptoms. And we still don't pay attention, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Yes, and in the end you die. So you need, but that's what it is, really.
No, it's true. And
you need to pay attention. You need to listen.
I'm just going to apologize to the audience here for a moment for anybody that's sensitive about death, but to me, that is just, it's true. I mean, you have so many wake-up calls, and
yes.
and people fail to listen. And you know what? So the laughter comes from this is the joke that was in my head that I have to is, and I'm sure many people have heard it, but there's a flood coming, and the man's in the house, and a car drives by, right? He says, "Get in the car," and he goes, "No, I'm gonna wait. God's gonna save me," right? And then the boat comes as the flood, when it says, "Get in the car," he says, "No, God's gonna save me." And then the helicopter is on the top of the roof, and he says, "No, God's gonna save me," and then he dies. He says, "You know, God, what happened? Thought you were going to save me." He goes, "Give me a break. I sent you the car, the boat, and the helicopter."
Yeah.
And I think that's
so that's a beautiful example. Yes, that's exactly what happens.
So
but it's ultimately, it's not even about dying. Yes, because it's about quality of your life. It's not that you don't listen, you will die tomorrow. It would just be easier in a way. Yes, it's you have to live with this.
Yeah.
So that would be my dream, to for women to be able to reconnect to themselves, to have like tools, and just to commit to taking proper care of themselves on all different levels.
And that's when they come to you to work with you, you embrace them with that love to help them learn how to take care of themselves.
Yes, that's it. We all we learn is really to take care of ourselves and to listen. So I use a lot of breath work because breath work is like a direct way to connect to what is deeper. yes, to go beyond all the stories in your mind. So, but we work on many different levels. Yeah, we work on the level of physical body. So we would learn like very practical things, how you can support yourself in terms of diet or physical exercises, things that directly nourish your body. And then we would work on emotions. We would work a lot of inner child healing, yes, and letting go of all this, you know, all those stones in the backpack that you keep carrying from the past. Women have loads of difficult emotions, yes, that they carry with them, like shame and guilt. And it's great just to let go of this.
Let's just take a moment, since you just talked about that, and maybe you can do some breath, but let's have everybody who just felt those stones like I did, all of a sudden I could just, is to put them down.
Yeah.
Like to put down all that guilt and shame, and then maybe you can just lead us into some of the breath work that you would do to transform the way people feel.
I think we can do a very simple breathwork exercise, like as we don't have much time here.
Right.
But what we would use in breathwork is the technique that is called connected breath. So it's when you connect your inhale with the exhale, so that there is no break between them. Okay, they form like a continuous circle, like of the bottom of the inhale you start your exhale, on the top of your inhale you start the exhale, and on the bottom of the exhale you start inhale again. The inhale is deep and powerful. It goes into your chest and into your belly a little, but we can focus on the chest for now. And the exhale is as relaxed as possible. So the inhale is powerful and the exhale is like a sigh of relief without any breaks. So just before we start, I will show you a few breaths and you can just practice with me, okay? So. And just relax your shoulders. Okay. Now breaks, continuous circle.
So that's really coming more through the mouth than the nose, or together?
You can use either your mouth or through the nose. In breathwork, you don't mix the two. So if you inhale through your mouth, exhale through your mouth, or if you inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose, you will get very different effects or results using your mouth and using your nose. So in a session, we would like guide the client which is best to use for any given moment. But for the now, you can start with whatever feels more comfortable. Okay, so I think we could just take 10 connected breaths like this, focusing on 3 main chakras in our body. So I would like you just to take 2 fingers and first place them on your belly, just let's say midway between your navel and your pubic bone, okay? And then we will take 10 connected breaths into this area so that you can imagine or feel that you breathe into this tiny spot beneath your fingers, okay? 10 breaths, and then a little break and 10 breaths with putting your fingers in the middle of your chest. You can't see me probably. In the middle of your chest, yes, just try it here. And 10 breaths again. And then the last one in the middle of your forehead. Okay? That's perfect.
Oh, yeah, I've already had release just in touching those spots.
They are good spots. They are very good spots. Okay. Yeah, so you can you can just focus for a moment and just you can feel your feet on the floor so that you are connected to the ground, to Mother Earth that is below you. Feeling this connection, feeling like every part of your body that is touching the chair just very briefly, quickly noticing how you're feeling right now. That's right. Okay, and let's start the breathing. So, six, 7, 8, 9, and just allowing your breath to come back to its normal rhythm for a moment. You can feel a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. It's okay. It's just more oxygen that your body is used to. That's right. Feeling your connection to the ground, your connection to Mother Earth, and moving your fingers to the middle of your chest. And let's take 10 connected breaths, 10 conscious connected breaths right into your heart, into the spot beneath your fingers. Okay. 5. 8. And 10. Allowing your breath to come back to its normal rhythm for a second. Noticing how you're feeling. If you have any sensations in your body, it's okay. They will pass. Just noticing all the sensations, all the feelings. Feeling your connection to the ground, to Mother Earth below you, and moving your fingers to the middle of your forehead and getting ready for the last 10 breaths. Okay, so 1. Deep inhale, relaxed exhale. 5. 8. And 10. That's right. Just closing your eyes for a second. Noticing all the sensations, noticing all the feelings. And just noticing whether there's any difference in how you feel right now. And if there is some difference, that's perfect. If there isn't, that's perfect as well. So just giving some attention to your body and emotion for a second. Right. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath, moving your fingers, moving your toes, stretching your body a little, relaxing your shoulders, and coming back to here and now. So welcome back, Jacqueline.
Yes, it is.
A lot of yawning. That's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yawning is a great way of releasing tension from our body. It's great.
Yes, whenever I'm processing energy, I'm letting go. I have this, now sometimes I have to be more conscious because I can tune in and pick up other people's issues, so just letting go of the energy that doesn't need to be there is very, very, very important for all of us. I think that's what we're doing now, is we're letting go. We're unlearning all the stuff that has been, sort of given to us by the memes of society, and we're unlearning, letting it go, however you want to call it, so we can come back to our true nature. And breath is one of those key examples, right? We have oxygen all here to take in, and how we breathe obviously has a big difference in just...
Oh, it brings a huge difference. And the research shows that we use, like on average, adult people use 1/3 of the capacity of their lungs. And it's just like living 1/3 of your life, like using 1/3 of your potential. Yes.
Yes.
So it brings like huge results very quickly.
I'm smiling a little bit bigger now, because I can hear the Irish tinge coming through. Although you've only lived there a short period of time, there's some in like some of the words, like, yes, there's that little Irish accent that she's got from... It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Oh God.
So with your clients, is this something you would encourage them to do daily, to do breath work, or to be...
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. When we I work with women mainly on 12-week programs now. So at the beginning of each program, we will start or we would create like a daily practice, like a set of exercises that they can use according to their preferences. Yes, because another thing is that you need to find something that you really enjoy doing. So it doesn't make sense to force yourself into a practice. So we really very carefully choose a daily practice, but it is essential to do something that brings you back to yourself, that brings you to this space beyond your mind on a daily basis. And these may be very different things. Breath for me is what I love and what I find very effective, both for myself and for my clients. But they may be like very different things as well. But regularity and consistency and just doing this every day is always essential. And it doesn't have to be a long time. Even an exercise like this, it's a very simple exercise. Yes, the one that we did, it will take you 2 minutes, but it's great for starting your day.
And I would assume, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that, because I agree, daily practice, those are my courses that too. It's because it's what you do in a day. But you have like a 12-week program because people need to get in the habit of doing it consistently, right?
Yeah, that's of course like part of it. But it's a 12-week program because there's, as you said, there are a lot of things to unlearn. So during 12 weeks we go through different layers and we go through different levels as well. Yes, so as I said, we would work on physical, of the level of physical body, we would work on emotions, we would work on mindset, and we would work on spirit and spiritual practice and the sense of purpose in all this. So that's why you need like 12 weeks. And I need to always explain this to people, because 12 weeks seems like a very long time. We are so used to quick solutions, to quick fixes. So yeah, that's it. But that's the opposite of what we learn on the program. We learn to introduce small but sustainable changes. Yes, things that you can keep on doing on everyday basis and that just become an integral part of your life. Because otherwise it's like binge eating. Yes, you go there and then you go back again to what was before. So that's not what we want.
Yeah, it's getting rid of the habits that are detrimental in your life and allowing yourself to develop and embrace new habits that support you. Right.
That's perfect. And it takes time. It takes time and it's a process, and like in fact it's a lifelong process. Yes. It's just that the quality of our life changes quite quickly if we really commit to this. But then we keep learning. We like I keep learning all of the time.
Well, the universe is expanding, so it only makes sense that we're
Yes.
expanding. I used to say, like, I don't know, early 2000s, that I thought I was very spiritual and I would have said I was very awake, right? And then I actually came to some teachings by a man who was born in Gdansk.
Uh-huh. Oh, really?
Yes, by the name of Bruno Gruning, and he
Oh,
talked.
yeah.
And so in terms of that, it was just the concept of habits, right? And then going, wow, I really know nothing. The more I started to get in tune with myself, the more I realized that everybody has their journey. Everybody has there's no one way, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one way. But in here, the people that are listening to you and feeling, wow, I really love that, right? They're feeling guided and they're resonating with you. And this is the path to go on, because we might be talking about loving yourself in midlife, but really it's just loving yourself.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yes. At any stage of your life. That's very true. Like the only difference is probably that at midlife, you don't have much choice. You know, you had your like late time before. It
Yeah.
was okay, but now it's high time to get serious about that.
So now, do you feel that that sometimes women have these issues because they're, I don't want to say refusing, but resisting stepping into their personal power or mission?
Um, I'd say even that very often they have those symptoms because they don't know, even they have no awareness that this is a call to step into their purpose and mission. So it's even deeper than resisting.
They're just
Yes,
they're just
it
sleeping.
just nobody told them this.
So they just feel like it's a natural thing to have these issues because the media says it's natural, it's with
Yeah.
you forever, and so they buy into the story and they have zero idea that they can
Mm-hmm.
shift it and live a life more vibrantly.
Yeah. So there are like different groups of women. Some of them just think that they need to survive somehow, and like there is some medical help with hormone replacement therapy and things like this. Yeah, so you can suppress the symptoms to some extent, which of course like works short way. But if you don't know, that's like the only thing that you can do. And there's also still, I don't know, in Ireland at least, and in Poland as well, a lot of stigma around this. So there's like a large group of women who wouldn't even admit that they are going through this stage, and they just suffer in silence without even sharing with their friends or with their family, with their sisters, yes, what's going on, because there's so much shame and embarrassment about that.
So what would you like to say to those women right now that are listening? Because we know there's always some of those that they're intrigued enough to listen, and you're planting the seed. And with your experience, how long does that seed take until they step forward and love
So
themselves enough to come?
I just love to say to them that it's a beautiful stage in our life, really. It's amazing. It's like our whole body is supporting us to step into our true power, into our true purpose, into our true identity, really. So it's just, it's just listening, as we said, and it's just reconnecting to ourselves and finding really good ways of supporting yourself. And very often it is simply means finding help. Yes, finding a therapist, finding a guide who can assist you on the way, because quite often it's difficult to do it on your own. But the most important thing is just to reach out. Yes, to reach out. Don't suffer in silence, because there are ways and there is help available, and it's like your body is never against you.
Right.
Your body is guiding you where you need to go. So it's just a matter of learning how to listen. And really, if you commit to this work, the change can come very quickly.
I think you said that beautifully. And as I would just reiterate that the more you tune in to what your body is telling you, the greater the freedom is. Because from my perspective, because I am in that age group at 54, that when there's so many possibilities that open up, but it's like when you listen to that guidance, there's a freedom to be who I am, and to love myself for who I am, regardless of anything, because it's a very deep connection to the, like a soulful or spiritual or the oneness, whatever you want to call it, but it gets deeper and deeper all the time. So it's,
yeah, because that's another thing, like everything that you do at this stage, it's not only about, you know, surviving so-called menopause. It will stay with you like for your whole life. It's just, it changes the quality, it changes the way you live so deeply and so beautiful, is that it just reaches far beyond midlife or menopause or whatever name we're going to use.
yeah. Now, is there a stigma around menopause? Like, is like, we've labeled it menopause, but is it in history or ancient time, was it a revered period? Like, I know in the native cultures here, when I've talked to them, that the women or the grandmothers are really the ones that are held in high esteem and respected.
Oh, yes.
As leaders, you know, and that we have fallen away from the fact that Mother Earth is Mother Earth and has given us everything and given us life. So is there actually some, you know, transitional period that this relates to our spiritual self?
So it's like, you know, it's in the past, as you said, like women that stopped menstruating were very highly respected in their communities. But also it seems, at least from as much research as I was able to do, that women didn't experience so many negative symptoms, you know, during the menopause.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seemed to be much easier, this transition. It was like accepted as something very natural, but it didn't come with this big range of you know, less than lovely symptoms.
Right.
And that's probably connected with like our civilization, yes, and the way we live, both with like a lot of suppression,
Mm-hmm.
yes, with our physical health, and how far we are from ourselves, really, yes.
Mm-hmm.
How little, how there is like very often no connection. We just follow the society or follow the scheme, or we are so deeply rooted in the system, yes, that we lose this connection. I mean, we can't lose the connection, it's always there, but we just forget that it is there. So that's probably the reason why it's so challenging at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm a firm stand that it is dramatically shifting by work that you do and the other speakers that are here, because like my experience, maybe it had to do with my mom saying I broke the mold when I was born, but once I made that decision to leave corporate and the Western world in 1991, my life has been totally out of the box. Like, I was never supposed to have kids, and you know, I have two, and they've been raised alternatively, and as a spiritual being having an earthly experience. So they too have had I feel like that was the real gift as being a mother, to raise them so they were outside of the present circumstances, because they see the world entirely different. And I see everyone else out there now having that awakening, going, especially the younger generation, they're already saying it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we have this opportunity now that, you know, we're connected with technology. It's awesome that we can come together here globally yet each of us individually have a passion. And we may not have our clients right next door to us, but we can have our clients all the way around the world, right?
And that's beautiful.
Isn't it?
That's amazing. That is amazing. And it brings a lot of hope, yes, about future. And you're right, you can see how things are changing, yes, and even with menopause and with midlife, there are more and more very good and really very spiritual and connected like programs and trainings available. So it is changing, and it will be changing, and that's just beautiful. That's great.
Well, I'm envisioning the song that we played in the beginning, and all these women, premenopausal, menopausal, just holding hands around the globe, just owning their beautiful souls and their special.
And bodies, and their beautiful bodies, yes, as well.
Yeah, and that we're co-creating this beautiful community together, loving and respecting ourselves.
Yes, that's beautiful. Loving and respecting ourselves, like with ease.
With ease, yes.
Yeah.
With ease. So, Kasia, my lovely Kasia, Kasia. More Kasia is coming.
Yes, I will remember this one.
What lovely gem would you like to leave us with today? You have just been beautiful, gracing us with your presence, and I know you have touched, moved, and inspired people here with opening them up to the truth within themselves, and that they can start to listen and follow their guidance.
I would really love to leave you with a big breath, just right into the middle of your heart. Yes, that's right, so that we can connect in breath. And this is also connecting us with love as well. So just keep breathing right into your heart.
There is so much energy right now. It's awesome. I hope everybody's feeling the love. And that the love just keeps growing person by person. And thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for inviting me here, and also for doing this, for organizing all this amazing party. And I'm sure it brings so much healing and so much hope for many people. So just a very deep thank you to you for organizing this.
You're very welcome. And where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook. We have the Facebook page which is called Thriving Through Menopause, and that's also the name of my website. So it's www.thrivingthroughmenopause.com.
Beautiful. So here's to us all thriving and having a very beautiful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.